Well, howdy, Waxers. Welcome on back to your favorite podcast. This is the Waxing Lyrically podcast, brought to you from the beautiful historic Brownwood Lyric Theater in lovely downtown Brownwood, Texas. I'm Drex Holt.
And I'm Alisa Hinton. And today we have three guests. We've got the Perkins. So I'm going to start here. We're going to go with you, Leslie. First, introduce yourself and say how you are kind of tied to the lyric, and then we'll move on. And then, Mikkel, we'll end with you mentioning R&R.
All right. Well, I'm Leslie Perkins, and my daughter, next to me, Riven, she is a part of the Lyric Kids Summer Workshop, and this is her second year to do that. So we're loving the Lyric, and we enjoy just as community members going to watch the shows.
Awesome. All right, Riven, you're on.
I'm Riven Perkins, and I've done 2 shows at the Lyric and watched a couple others.
Awesome.
I'm Mikkel Perkins, and I've sponsored a couple of the shows this year, and obviously my daughter is in the summer camp for her second year, and that's what brought us here today.
So y'all own R&R Cards and Games. Again, thank you. We want to thank you for being a sponsor of the Lyric. It's so important. You're a downtown business also. A lot of people, when they hear about the business, they're like, I drive by there and I can see in the windows and it just looks so cool. And I can't believe that that's even something that flourishes, but it really flourishes. So talk to us just a little bit about R&R.
That was mainly me that said that, because, and it's kind of like, my buddy, Jackson here that does the popcorn. Popcorn's not my thing, so it just blows me away that we sold a ton of it at Grace the Confused, and he's doing really well with it too. And I'm not like, I guess it's like, I kind of call it all Dungeons and Dragons, like all the different games and everything. I lump it all kind of together, and it's not really my thing. And I wonder how it does succeed. Not only did y'all start, y'all started over by the courthouse in Waylands, and you had that place. Not only did you succeed there, but you grew and then moved to the other place. And in fact, when my cousin came to visit from Arizona, that's the first place he wanted to stop. Mm-hmm. And it amazes me that y'all did that. Is there like a market for it, or y'all just really savvy, or both?
So we actually started. I spent about 12 years in the car business and retired from there at the end of 22, beginning of 23, when I started making as much money selling cards as I did selling cars, but just able to do it in half the time and have weekends free, which I hadn't had since 2004.
Double the money, half the time?
Yeah.
That's a good
So he bought a package of cards, and apparently one that he got out of it was super rare that he would have been able to sell for $500, I guess. And I don't know how much he paid for the package.
Yeah. There's in just about everything we sell over there, there's different rarities, and it's completely random what you're going to get. You have a set, you're going to get X amount of this card, a common or uncommon or rare. And then there's, the things that are really, really rare, where they're a 1% drop, something like that. But, those cards can go for, there's a set that has official release on this Friday, and there's a card in there that's going for $30,000 right now. So that's actively, there are card shops out there actively looking for this card at $30,000, which means they plan to sell it for even more than that, because they're basically buying it at wholesale. And it's just like that. It's what I've just learned is people's hobbies tend to be a little bit recession proof. People work, they go to their jobs and they work to afford the things they enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And so as we go on, we still see, I spend money on my hobbies like anybody else. Mm-hmm. And for a couple of years, we were in a small commercial building on Austin Avenue. It was just me and one other guy, and we spiraled that up to be able to move to the courthouse. And almost a year exactly later, we moved into our new building, and we're not looking back. I mean, it's just
Just
If I
keeps
could, if I
growing.
could add another 2,000 or 3,000 square foot, I would, and we would utilize it. We're already filling this space up.
Wow.
You sound like the lyric.
Yeah.
We need space, and more space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Leslie, what's your take on having the card shop? I know you still work. You can tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I am actually a curriculum developer and trainer for childcare regulation with the state of Texas. So I've worked there for a really long time and worked my way into my passion, which is training, which I love to do, teaching people. But I enjoy the shop. It kind of blew me away a little bit too. It's not a hobby that's necessarily mine, but I am excited to see that there's so many people in our community that really enjoy what we do, and we really do see that as a community, building a community in our store. You know, you can come and hang out in our store. You don't have to buy anything.
My son does every single time he comes. He's like, I'm going to go down to the card shop.
Yep.
So, and I mean, great location right downtown, catty corner to the theater. So, Riven, I have a question for you. When you're part of the workshops, you're going to be in Matilda Jr., correct?
Yes.
What is your role?
Tommy.
Tommy. Just one word, huh? Just old Tommy.
He's just a classmate of Matilda's.
Nice. Okay, so when you are done with the workshop, do you just walk over to the shop?
I walk over and work for about 3 hours.
Nice.
And what do you do?
Easy stuff.
Yeah.
Since I don't know a whole ton about a lot of it, but it's just like sort like special cards from regular cards most of the time.
Well, it's just so great for me to see downtown growing and being walkable. So, you know, just to come from the Rogers house, head over there, my son, you right here at the Lyric, building that community is so important. So, as sponsors to the Lyric, what do you think that the arts and theater contributes to community? How is it important? What's y'all's take on that?
I think it's a great way to connect people in our community. You know, I constantly tell my friends that I have that don't live here locally about how great our community theater is and how fun it is to go to shows there. And just, you see your friends when you're there. You see your friends in the show. You see your friends attending the show. You know, you get to meet new people and congratulate people on their great work that they're doing there. And I think it really is a big draw. You know, when there are shows, I know Shrek is coming up, and that is highly anticipated. And when we have a show that people are excited to go see, there's not a place to park downtown. You know,
Right.
People are excited about going and being a part of our community. And it's a pretty exciting thing to see people so dedicated to something that, you know, it's not necessarily something that people make a lot of money on, or they're getting some kind of other kind of gratification out of it. It's just having a fun outlet for themselves and enjoying other people in their community. And I think that's exciting.
I have never not received a return on my investment from any free time I put into the Lyric. It's all came back to me in some manner or another. And I think it's cool that, you know, because you guys are, you know, you're getting, it's almost like the whole tithing thing they talk about in churches. You know, you're receiving, but you're giving it back to the theater too. And I think that's really cool. We appreciate it.
So let's get down to the children's workshop in particular and talk to us about what kind of expectations did you have of the theater workshop before Ribbon was involved? So that would have been last year. Did you have what did you expect from her, or what she might learn? And then the follow-up question is, what actually did you get afterwards? So.
I expected her to kind of be pushed a little bit outside of her comfort zone, which, you know, is part of the
Good
point.
for all of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not. And I expected that she would learn a lot of new things. You know, going to the shows at the Lyric, and I've had some friends whose older kids older than my children, but they had gone to Lyric camp in the past. I felt there was a level of professionalism at the Lyric, and so I expected her to learn a lot. of how to do things the right way while she was going to camp there.
And sadly, we were mistaken.
She came back nothing but a novice.
And I think definitely those expectations were met. I think Riven, one, she just enjoyed it a lot. It gave her something to do with her time. The amount of time that the kids spend there at camp is significant enough for them to actually learn a lot of skills. So in school, Riven is also in theater at school, and just watching her after she did last summer at the Lyric, and then the plays that she did this past school year, and some of her friends as well, the improvement that I saw in their skills and their comfortableness with being in front of other people, being up in front of there and being looked at was massive. It was massive, and I attribute a lot of that to them being involved with the Lyric.
Have you met a lot of new friends?
Definitely. Sometimes it's a little hard to keep in contact after the workshops, but you're always just, you can like just talk to them if you don't really have anyone else. And if they do the Lyric a second time, then you can just go and talk to them.
Were you worried the first year when you came in that you might not know any, or that were you nervous?
I was nervous the entire time, but I got a little less nervous because one of my friends told me she was going to do it, and then another of my friends decided to join after both of us were doing it, so it was easier with just those two.
That was when I was new. That's the way it was for me too. I felt kind of, I wouldn't say that I'm super introverted, but my first, 4 or 5 shows, you get real tight. It's almost like summer camp. You're best friends, and then you're like 6 to 9 months away from each other, and then I would feel real weird my first couple of days of rehearsal, but then, that goes away, and then pretty soon after 7 or 8 shows, then, it's like that time never passed.
Yeah, for sure. So, Mikkel, what did you notice in Riven after, now, the camps are 8 weeks. So, Leslie, you're talking about, the amount of time. How does that amount of time play in, and what did you notice in Riven after her experiences?
She definitely blossomed into a just kind of not a different person, but she's a lot like me. I'm pretty introverted. I love just being at home. I am a homebody. My home's my castle. I like it there. I don't mind being at work. I like being there, but I don't mind being home. I don't really like to travel. So the thought of driving for hours is literally my worst nightmare. So
even worse than getting on stage?
It'd probably be right up there. And she was really hesitant the first year. And I just saw a huge change from her 7th grade performances going into the Lyric, back to the performances for 8th grade. Huge change. And then, now, and I think we're going to see more changes in her 9th grade stuff in theater next year too. She's really taken to it, and it's neat to see her get something that's outside of the house. And I think Boz Lerman said, "Do one thing every day that scares you," and I think she's
dropping Boz.
I know,
Lerman.
right?
That's nice. I imagine
Folks
though,
aren't slackers.
when you come across people at the card shop, it's kind of like the theater where, if there is a new person, the reason they're here is the same reason I'm here. We share this passion, so you're kind of safe.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of that is. We joke our main game that we play is called Magic the Gathering, and it's like an industry-wide joke that you've got to be somewhere on the spectrum there to really enjoy Magic, and we all say, well, we've got a little touch of the tism, and
Right.
and I think that gives a safe place to people that are like that, and we're very welcoming, and the people I've hired over there, I have 0 turnover in 3 years. I've never lost an employee. I've only added. And they all work really well together. They are engaging and welcoming to anybody that walks in, especially if they've never seen them before. That just makes them turn it up another notch, make sure they feel welcome and make sure they can find a game. All of my employees know that I have no problem at all with them playing games at work on the clock, I'll pay them to do it. If it means we have a customer that feels comfortable and is engaged and getting to hang out and play, I don't care if they spend a dime. I care about them enjoying the space that they're in and coming back and playing and having a good time.
Magic the Gathering, I've maybe played it one time, barely. Just to kind of orient. I don't even know if that's a thing. If you can barely play Magic the Gathering. So that's how much I played it.
I barely played it.
So it sounds like people are getting a creative outlet. My son, he's done D&D, he's done Magic, and when he tells me about it, it's like there's this whole other world, and it sounds like it's a creative art to some degree. Do you feel like it's the arts that are bringing people into this, or?
It's probably a little bit of that. And here lately, the last few years, they've done collaborations with major intellectual properties, Lord of the Rings, Marvel.
Fallout. That's
Fallout,
what Stason wanted.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avatar. Yeah, we just released a massive Marvel set that's coming out. That we did the pre-release this past weekend. The release is on Friday, and then in a couple months we have The Hobbit coming out there. We have Star Trek later this year, and we've gone all the way into like SpongeBob SquarePants has Magic cards.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Garfield,
quite an industry.
Garfield just got Magic cards with a cat release that they did a couple weeks ago. So there really is something for everybody there, and you can be as serious or as casual as you want to be. And I tend to be more on the competitive, what we call the sweaty side. Like we grind each other's nerves, but at the end of the day, we're all friends. But you can be as casual as you want, and you can be brand new, and you'll fit in just fine.
We're going to take a quick break to once again thank our sponsor, Resound High Speed Internet. Their dedication to keeping Brownwood and Brown County connected helps us keep bringing you these stories from the stage and behind the curtain. See how Resound High Speed Internet delivers reliable service to homes and businesses like yours by visiting their website at resoundnetworks.com/Brownwood. Let's show some neighborly appreciation for their support of the Brownwood Lyric Theater. And now, back to the show. So, Ribbon, having heard your dad say all that, I know you have more than just stage experience in theater. So tell us a little bit about what you did in school in last year under Miss Moss, and I'll tie in why I'm asking you that. Give us a little background.
Well, for last year, do you mean like 8th grade? So for the first one, we did a one-act play with just like 7 kids, I think, and one was working on lights, so they weren't really acting. I think we did pretty good on that. I think we only kind of went down a little bit with the main character having a bit of a trouble with being loud enough. He was a bit
What was
frightened.
your role in that show?
I was the main character. His name was Domingo. I was his little sister, Viernes.
Wonderful. So did you do? So that was a stage experience. Did you do behind the scenes? Were you prop mistress? What did or direct? What role did you just recently have?
I did director for Alice in Wonderland.
Director. Okay, so I'm hearing your dad talk about the different types of reasons people come in and do and play this. What is the difference that you've seen from being on stage versus being off stage and more in kind of that directorial role?
Weirdly enough, I found more stress being off stage. Just because, mainly it's just because I was director, because it was kind of like everything kind of summed back to what I thought should be happening. But it was also kind of fun seeing what I thought should happen kind of all come together into one thing.
Yeah. What was it like directing your friends?
Thankfully, I didn't have like all my friends doing it. That would have been a little hard. But thankfully, they weren't super, like, they didn't act super hurt if I told them to go do something. They understood. They were all very calm about it. So there wasn't like any personal feelings getting hurt. That was definitely what I liked a lot.
So you're getting the ability to give some constructive feedback. What's it like in the children's camp to get that kind of information? Is it scary? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, I messed up? Or when they give you feedback, what does it feel like?
They manage to phrase it in a way where it never seems like they're targeting you or anything.
Mhm.
They always make it seem like they're just trying to help you
That's great.
with the way they do
We
it.
we had a discussion just like this one with them for the podcast, and they were very they had that in their head going forward.
The directors.
Because,
Are you talking about the director?
no, the interns.
Oh, the interns.
Is that who
Uh-huh.
she's talking about, or the interns,
No,
the
she's.
kids?
I was talking about Dr. Ewing, but
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Dr.
Yeah.
Ewan usually
Mhm.
gives most of the criticism,
Yeah.
at least for me so far.
Mhm. So
Oh, I meant the interns and how they were talking about. Most of them had been through this. And they were really that they had that in mind before they're going to help the kids in the workshops and
yeah.
stuff.
Do you interact with the interns much?
Not very much, but I've interacted with one a bit more than the others.
Mhm.
Jesslyn,
Mhm.
she played in Moana last year, and since she was an actor,
Yeah.
we interacted a bit more than I did with the other interns right now.
When you came back, was it like, friends?
Kinda.
Yeah, those relationships develop, though.
Mhm.
And well, okay. So speaking of development, Leslie, I'm going to pick on you just a little bit. What do you think about the role of the arts in child development? I know you see a lot of different people in your job throughout your career. What have you noticed?
I think the arts are critical in child development. To be able to have an outlet to try different things, and to me, again, that's a huge part of Riven being in lyric camp in the summer is her having an opportunity to try something different. Acting, you're able to put on be a different person for a little bit, try something different, and that's could be life changing.
100%.
Truly.
Mhm.
But to be able to try to be a different person, try something different, different personality, different way of talking, a different way of dressing, different mannerisms in a safe environment is such a huge thing for kids. There's so many different stages of child development, and during each stage you need different things. But being able to try something new and different and express your emotions through art, whether it be painting or drawing, or through acting, singing, dancing, being able to express those emotions in a safe place like that is very significant for child development.
It's a good way to learn about empathy pretty
for sure.
early. Because, honestly, I don't remember. I probably didn't know anything about empathy until I took an anthropology class in community college. And now
You're like,
now
"What's
they're
that word?"
learning it quick. I wish I would have been in one of these situations a lot earlier. That's for sure.
You can start the children's camps early. What was the deciding factor to get you started in general? You were in 7th grade when you started?
We had just finished 7th.
Yeah.
Did you see a show and just think, oh yeah?
So I'm going to have to badmouth my parents for a second. I wanted my cousin to come visit for the summer
Uh-huh.
because we don't get a lot of time together. She lives in Florida. And they said I either had to do the lyric camp or I didn't get to see her at all for like another year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I was
good
like,
old-fashioned threat.
Might as
Good old
well.
ultimatum.
It's not guaranteed I get a big role. Might as well.
Right. So you said you're Tommy. So Tommy is a male or female character? Does it
In
matter?
the original, like if you looked at the script, it'd say he was a male,
Mhm.
but the director did say if I wanted, I could just change him to a female.
So how did you feel when you got that role? Were you going for Matilda or?
I wasn't going for Matilda, but I was kind of hoping for Mrs. Wormwood.
Oh, yeah.
But I wasn't super disappointed or anything. I mean, I was happy I didn't get like a major role because I wasn't really aiming for a major role.
Yeah. Do you have a
Gotta-
lot of lines?
I don't have any like regular like speaking lines, but I have like 2 or 3 solos in some of the songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you a singer?
Eh.
You are now. I hope so. You got to be.
I've done good on my part so far.
Oh, that's wonderful. So this might have been like a hidden talent that maybe you didn't know you had, that the the director saw in you. Do you feel like the director sees different things in you than maybe you've seen in yourself?
I think at times, but also he also kind of has to think of the entire play. Well, I usually think of just like the parts I'm in and the parts that we've been working on, not the whole entire play.
Because she's been a
grown
director.
up.
I know, right? Do you think that your theater experience is going to affect you or help you or hinder you as you go on later in life?
I think it'll help. I kind of plan on taking a job that might have to deal with a bit of customer service, and acting sometimes has to work with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, being a server, I have to act like I'm totally cool with people throwing a fit about, something that I think is kind of small, So, yeah.
You spilled this soup all over me. You're like,
Yeah, my ranch isn't on the side, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, well, that's one thing to get really upset about, I guess.
but yeah, it does take a little finessing. So learning those things in a safe space. Again, I think, Leslie, I completely agree with what you're saying about being able to take on different personas and roles. It's so important because we don't often feel like we have permission to be something completely different. And especially in middle school, high school, do you think that people get pigeonholed into being a certain personality in school? And
Definitely. It's just, it kind of happens with school.
Get
So
flashbacks.
well, we are so thankful that you have taken the time to come out and be in shows and stretch your wings a little bit, and then just seeing you go into that position at school too, to be able to take that back. Kieran Moss also will host some of these podcasts, and she's spoken very fondly of you. You were the director under her. What show was it?
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. So at Brownwood
Brownwood.
Middle School. So, yeah. Thank you for doing this, and we just want to thank you, Leslie and Mikkel, for taking the time to come in and invest in the community.
And congratulations for, just like overnight, well, probably not overnight, but pretty quickly becoming like a huge player in the whole downtown business thing. It's quite impressive. Plus,
Thank you.
It's been fun.
You're obviously a great personal trainer, too, as Alisa is really into the gym. She's looking great.
This woman right here is the reason that I am up and at the gym at 5:30, darn near every morning. We skip 2 days a week?
2 days a week.
2 days a week. Other than that, yeah. So, and you'd think that, after I thought this morning, my alarm went off and I was like, oh, I didn't even want to do it. And I'm like, how come after a year, you would think that by a year I would really be looking forward to it.
No.
But once I get there,
then I'm happy I came,
yes,
right?
Exactly. But
You're looking forward to those endorphins, though, at the end.
At the
Maybe
end,
not at the beginning.
yes, not at the
but,
beginning.
yeah.
I'm still looking forward to some sleep.
I've started to switch. I lift now instead of doing the treadmill first. I lift now. Game changer.
Really?
It's really? Oh yeah.
We don't
great,
even
yeah.
bother with the
Yeah.
treadmill.
Yeah.
No cardio for us.
Yeah, no, we're just straight up
Hey,
lifting.
y'all are doing good stuff.
Okay, well, thank you all again for coming onto the podcast and for your contributions to the Lyric as sponsors. You sponsored the, I want to say Showcase Showdown, but it was the Surefire Wrestling
Cool.
event.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also just being a part of the community downtown and helping us to grow. We all help each other. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
Very impressive.
So y'all, Matilda Jr., directed by Nick Ewing. Showtimes are July 24th and 26th, so it's just one weekend. And then the next children's show is Finding Nemo Jr. That is Shannon Lee is the director of that, and that is July 31st through August 2nd. Get your tickets now. I'm going to let you plug some Shrek.
Well, one thing I would recommend is going on brownwoodlyrictheater.com. We've also got quite a few audition workshops coming up. We've got Puffs,
Oh,
We've got Little Shop of Horrors. You can find all those on
been voting for that for
again,
years.
brownwoodlyrictheater.com. Also, follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think, do we still do?
I don't
check
have TikTok, so yeah, just check it anyway. Just check
YouTube,
it
of
out.
course. If you're not
Yes.
watching this on YouTube, you'll be listening on somewhere else. So we're
Please
everywhere.
subscribe and
Just come
like.
and find us.